Hello, my name is Richard Dysart.
And I'm Michele Greene.
On television, we've been lawyers, with much of our time focused on representing our clients' best interests in the courtroom.
In law school, much of your time will be focused on the case law that is created by the courts and published in a case law reporter, such as this one.
Now, actors don't have to know how to analyze these cases, but you'll need to. You'll have to master them.
The way you'll learn to do that is to study actual cases from the books you'll be reading in class. These books are called, appropriately enough, case books. Studying actual cases not only helps you learn the law, it also helps you develop the analytic skills and reasoning needed to be a lawyer. The case law method of studying the law was first proposed in 1869 by Professor Christopher Columbus Langdell, later Dean of the Harvard Law School. Since then, hundreds of thousands of law students have learned the law by using this method.
Right now, you'll want to learn what case law is, why it's important, and how it gets from the courts into your hands. Shall we?
Don't worry, notes aren't required. Just relax and enjoy the program. You'll have the rest of law school to take notes. In our society, the courts play a crucial role in resolving conflicts. You've probably seen many examples of trials on television or at the movies. In the end, the judge or jury decides who wins. But suppose there is an appeal. Appeals are argued to judges whose job it is to determine whether the correct principles of law were applied during a trial. These appeals courts can be found in every state and on the federal level as well. Perhaps the best known is the United States Supreme Court. An appeals court studies the issues raised and the arguments presented by both sides in a trial, and then releases a written decision. In its decision, the court discusses the rationale it used in reaching its conclusion. Clearly, the outcome of an appeal is important to the people involved in the case, but it turns out that it's important to all of us because of a legal doctrine known as precedent. This doctrine, also known as stare decisis, holds that legal principles established in a case serve as authority for subsequent decisions involving the same situation. It's based on the belief that legal judgments should be consistent, that people in similar situations should be dealt with in similar ways. In order to best serve their clients, lawyers need to read and analyze the decisions of the appeals courts to determine which legal principles apply to their clients' problems. The journey a written decision takes from the appellate courts to you is a complex one. It starts with the decision being filed with the clerk of that court. If this were the end of it, you would have to conduct your legal research out of the filing cabinets of all the clerks of court. Fortunately, it isn't.
Early on, lawyers and judges recognized the need to have access to the text of cases. In response, a number of public and private publishers began to make written decisions available in books called reporters. The largest and most widely used collection can be found in the bound volumes of West Publishing Company's National Reporter System. West is one of the oldest and most respected legal publishers in the United States. Since 1876, West has taken special care to assure that cases are accurately reported and easy to find. I think taking a tour of West is the best way to see how case law reporters are made. 8th floor is where the journey begins, and here we are. This is where court documents are received. Each year, over 600 courts send West more than 130,000 decisions. Some are sent by mail, others by electronic transmission. After a decision has been verified as being an authoritative copy from the court, the next step is to check the decision for accuracy. Because of the principle of precedent, courts need to refer to other decisions and laws in reaching their conclusions. These references, called citations, are important leads to lawyers conducting research, and therefore they must be accurate. West's editorial staff double-checks each citation for accuracy. Last year, they corrected more than 90,000 citation errors, errors which could lead you on a wild goose chase. In addition, where the same case appears in multiple reporters, West's editorial staff adds parallel citations. Parallel citations enable a researcher to find the referenced case in the reporter that is most readily accessible. Last year, over 400,000 parallel citations were added to the text of the reported cases. Next, the lawyers on West's editorial staff read the content of each decision. Any potential error that they see in the text of the opinion is called to the attention of the judge who wrote the opinion for clarification. I don't have to tell you that errors can wreak havoc. Now let's see what a reporter looks like once it's published. This reporter is called the Federal Reporter. Let's examine it. This is the volume number, page number, title of case, docket number, and court in which the case was heard. Over here is the opinion and the name of the judge who wrote it. This is all editorial information added by the experienced lawyers on West's editorial staff. This is the synopsis or summary of the case. It briefly reviews the facts in the case and the conclusion of the court. These are headnotes. Each one summarizes a point of law discussed in the decision. Above each headnote is a digest topic and key number. Once you learn how to use these indexing tools, they'll help you to find other cases which rule on similar points of law. Over 275,000 headnotes are written each year. That's quite amazing and quite helpful. All the unique information from West, the synopsis, headnotes, digest topics, and key numbers, makes it easier to find and understand cases. But remember, it's the text of the court's decision that constitutes the law itself. And that's why the accuracy of case law reporting is so vitally important. Well, hello. We're just about to finish the tour. Would you care to join us?
Sure, what's next?
The printing presses. After all this editorial work is done, the case reports still have to be printed. They're proofread a final time, then typeset using advanced computer techniques, and finally made ready to put on the presses. Case reports are first printed in paperbacks known as advance sheets. Advance sheets get cases out in a hurry. When several advance sheets accumulate, they are republished in hardcover form as the next volume in a reporter series. In addition to being printed in reporters, West provides these same editorially verified, corrected, and enhanced case reports on microforms and on its computer-assisted legal research service, Westlaw, so that decisions are available to lawyers as quickly as possible. The comprehensive Westlaw database is constantly updated to include the most recent cases.
Now that you've seen the journey that cases take on their way from the courts to a reporter, let's see how decisions find their way into the casebooks you'll use in class. Each of your classes requires that you master a number of different legal principles. While each of these principles may be discussed in several decisions, the authors of your casebooks usually select only one case to illustrate each principle.
Also, the authors usually eliminate from each selected case parts of the decision that are not directly related to the legal principles you need to understand. Your critical reading of this material in your casebooks is part of the journey you take on your way to becoming a lawyer.
I hope we've made the case that a tremendous amount of care and attention goes into getting cases from the courts to you.
That effort is taken to help preserve what every American feels is his or her right, equal treatment under the law. Goodbye for now.
And good luck in your studies.